Welcome to the Creative Condition podcast with me, Ben Talon, illustrator and creativity coach, founder of the Creative Condition, artist and writer. I bring 20 years of creative industry experience and a lifelong love of creativity, a fundamental pillar of human happiness, to you through ongoing personal exploration and the shared experiences of others. You'll get a nourishing mix of creative industry professionals and people far and wide using creativity in ways that can take our learning to the next level so we can maximise our unique blend. The show's been supported from day one by Illustration X, a tremendous illustration agency representing a shining global roster of illustrators and animators over at illustrationx.com. The music for the show is by Dirty Freud, who you can listen to now on all good streaming services. And for everything else, for my coaching, resources and inspiration, head to thecreativecondition.com. Evening, guys. I'm coming to you from the studio with some thoughts about doing something. I've got to do something in this moment. We're in an interesting time in our world, but when was it ever not interesting? If we could just remove ourselves from this current moment, easier said than done, because there's bleakness, there's darkness, and there was always a lot of that going on. It doesn't make it any easier in our current moment because that's the life we have to live and work through. But I'm a firm believer that in times of good and bad, we have to do something. We have to take a step in a better direction for us as individuals, for us as families and networks of friends, and for us as the all-important whole, the collective, everything, because it's all joined up. So I wanted to talk to you about a new project, and I'm working with the Do Lectures, which is very exciting. So these guys have been around for a while. I'll read you their manifesto. The idea was a simple one. Gather together the world's leading doers, disruptors and change makers. Have them share their hearts and stories and encourage others to do amazing things too. And so the Do Lectures was born. Since then we've welcomed more than 400 speakers to Do Wales, our annual lecture events in Wales, the USA and Australia. And we've held courses and workshops with over 4,000 people. Simple ideas are often the best. We are home to the creative underdog, an encouragement network for those seeking a different path. So don't just sit there, do something. Now, are there any of us in this current moment who are not seeking a different path? I think we all should be seeking a different path, and we always are in our lives, because nothing's permanent. It's all in flux. It's all going to end at some point. And that's kind of what makes creativity exciting, because we're artists and designers and writers and speakers and doers. And if we're not doing, we feel bad, don't we? We get down, we get confused and lost. It's kind of why I wanted to do creative coaching and work with people. And it's kind of why I've taken on this project with the Do Lectures. Their radio station platform, Do Radio, which you can listen to at thedoradio.com, approached me and they wanted to talk about the possibility of me taking on a series of their show called I Am Not Creative. It's an existing show. It's had different hosts over time. That's how they like to do things. And the idea appealed because I knew about the Do Lectures. I live very close to Dan Kieran, founder of Unbound, publisher in London, and an awesome author and writer. He's gone back to his roots to do that since his time at Unbound. And Dan did one of the Do Lectures and has kept a great relationship with them since, writing a book, Do Start, and now he's doing his own Do Radio show, which you can also check out. And it's exciting. So he spoke about these guys quite a lot, and then through a serendipitous event, I was approached. So that was very exciting to me and asked to go and do radio under this idea of I Am Not Creative. That's the title of the show. So I thought, okay, well, this is an existing show. It's not what I would have chosen to work with, but that's creativity to a T. It's like, can you work with what's in front of you? So I thought, yeah, I can. That's a good idea. We're in a moment, aren't we, where we need to do something. So I thought, well, what do I do? What I do is I talk about the challenges and the opportunities in this current moment for creators, because I think we're all creators as humans. But also, of course, I'm specifically appealing to people who want to consciously action their creativity and do more with it. So I got on the phone to Danny Allison, close friend of mine, long-term collaborator and studio mate, fantastic mind. And I spoke to him and I said, do you fancy this? I think a co-host would differentiate this from my podcast, the Creative Condition podcast. But I think that given that we've come through midlife crises, we are meeting now in midlife, and we are in a moment of absolute transformation and change in the world, I thought this could be good. We're going to strip it all down. We're going to talk about the challenges, the opportunities. We're going to talk about our own experiences, mental health, crises, midlife crises, genuine issues. Danny had a full-blown nervous breakdown going back some years now, and he talks very candidly about this on the show. So that's where we are. We're presenting what I think is going to be an 8-part series, potentially more than one series on Do Radio. So you can listen to it on thedoradio.com. And it's going out all this week and subsequent weeks, 4 in the morning, noon, and 8 o'clock in the evening. Great slots. You can listen live. And then, in 3 weeks' time, after each show, it will be available to download on demand. I hope you check it out. I hope you join us, because I want conversation through this. I want your feedback. I want to have a growing sense of being tuned into that common psychology, what we're all going through, because we're all in a moment. We all need to do something. So if you're sitting there shitting yourself, worrying about stuff, doom scrolling, or going on social media and sharing petitions and scary stories, stop. Listen to what's going on inside and do something. Take a step. Do something positive. Do something meaningful. Do something that gives you a dog in the fight, gives you some agency, a chance to remedy the horrible feeling we all get when we hear these bleak news headlines. Because there are so many wonderful things going on in the world, and this is one of them. The Do lectures are fantastic. Their psychology about getting off our asses and making something happen, having an idea. That's why we signed up for this show. So check it out. I think whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter if you just wander out to your shed, throw some paint around, share it with someone, start a conversation, go down to your local pub, go down to your local community centre, talk to someone, write something, start a poem. It'll be completely shit, but it's really important. Making bad art is an essential part of the creative process to get to something worthwhile. So do it. Stop procrastinating. Stop fanning around. Stop worrying about what might happen, what people might think. I'm not saying you're all doing it, but I know it's an essential part of these brains of ours, these creative brains that are quite sensitive. But action is the way. I said before, a wonderful quote by Marco Fan, a friend of mine and a coach from Paradiso. He told me about a misconception that confidence comes before action. Doesn't. It's always the other way around. So do something. What's your thing? What do you know about? What are you positioned to do something cool about? What are you interested in? What makes you happy? Go out and do it and share it. That's the point of this podcast, so I wanted to get on here tonight for you. For now, go and check out the show at theduradio.com. You'll find the listings there. You'll find the link to our show, myself and Danny Allison. It's been a pleasure to do these. We're 4 deep. The first one is out this week. I'm recording Monday the 6th of April 2026, but they're going to be up there in the archive for a long time. So if you stumble across this one later, there's never a bad time to do something. And as a thank you for listening, here's a little preview of the show. This is episode 1 of I Am Not Creative by Ben Talon and Danny Allison. You can listen now at theduradio.com. Enjoy. Have a great week, guys. Welcome to I Am Not Creative. In a world so noisy, fast, ever-changing, relentlessly uncertain and unforgiving, being creative can feel like a luxury consigned to a bygone era. Ben Talon, illustrator, writer, host of the Creative Condition podcast and creativity coach, and Danny Allison, illustrator and photographer, meet midlife and mid-creative industry career to candidly explore the challenges and opportunities facing creators in the information age, while offering their own learnings and insights.
Just minimal sleep at the moment. I think with the state of the world, without getting straight into doom and gloom, Yeah, it's having a bit of a profound effect on the old sleepy booze.
Yeah, well, as you well know, like I had my complete midlife crisis still sort of going on, but not in terms of anxiety what it was last year. But yeah, a cocktail of all of those things, which is what I think we're going to talk about in this first episode. I want to try and give a kind of a sense of why it can be really hard to tap into what you need to tap into to be creative, you know?
Yeah, yeah, absolute midwife crisis, isn't it? Like for absolute sure. Would you rather have a midwife crisis or a midlife crisis? If you could choose.
I don't know. I'm more intrigued by midwife crisis.
Yeah, me
But
too. I don't know even what that means, but yeah, I'm sure there's a story in there.
do you know though? Just to flip that on its head, it's that sort of thinking and silly curiosity that actually keeps me sane. I realize how important that is for me recently, and I realize I'm not doing it anywhere near enough. Again, we can get into the reasons why.
No, I think
But
I think yeah. I mean, just sorry to interrupt you there, a chain of thought, but it's like adulthood and age. Play gets ironed out of you, man. Like it gets ironed out of you in fact most places, most ways. So it's something you have to actively pursue. And basically, it's like going to the gym. You have to go to the gym to work your muscles. If you don't, you turn into a lettuce. You know what I mean? You have to kind of like almost force that play. You have to kind of get into the habit and the routine of it. I think.
you do, don't you? You have to become really intentional about it. You almost have to schedule it because what life is so busy and the nature of modern life is so busy. There are so many traps, and you can easily lose decades to routine and dogged habit without stopping to you don't it's almost like you don't notice that something's missing until you get the ill effects of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, as well. But I suppose on the flip side of it, being working in the creative industries, yeah, for like 20 plus years, even before that, like right when you slipped out the womb, we were all that creative, right? Um, but that saying, I think you can have major creative burnout. I've had that also, where I've been sat in a place of 20 years doing nothing but be a creative from the moment I wake up to go to bed. I also think that's extremely unhealthy too. I think it's extremely unhealthy. It's great, like you were saying, to set time aside to kind of do responsibilities, then set time aside to be creative. But it's also super important to switch that off.
I absolutely know what you mean, and there's it's something I've got. It's one area that I have improved in, is, and I think it's been forced upon me to a degree by parenthood, but it's
Yeah.
that idea of what I've been getting better at is, when you feel that brilliant feeling where you're really connected with the work and you're into it, and you could just easily go into the small hours still doing it. It's recognizing that that's a good place to be, but also the best time to step away, because then you renew that in the morning. Like you wake up fresh and excited to get back to it.
Yeah, I mean that's where I was yesterday. I have a client that needed something ASAP. They needed it yesterday. You know what I mean? That kind of client, which I
Mm.
fully understand. But yeah, yesterday was a pretty much a write off for me because I was working into the early hours the evening before to get something done for them. And yeah, yesterday I just was not in the mood. I was not in the mood to be creative, although I needed to be because I had other deadlines. So yeah, a massive knock-on effect. So yeah, you need to know when to turn that tap off. You know what I mean? That comes with experience, because like when we first started out on our sort of commercial creative journey, the tap was just on. It was like super glued on. You know what I mean? Like I was there was nothing. There wasn't much room left for anything else but creative thinking. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that was all of our identity back then, wasn't it? It's like
Yeah.
when you because even at university age, and I mean, I think you'd had a bit more world experiences than I had. You'd done a lot of traveling and the likes prior to university, but even so, you're still very much finding who you are at that age in your early 20s. So when you find this thing that really sings to you, and actually you kind of go, "This is me." Like I'm getting the chance to live as my inner artist.
It's addictive, especially when you're given the space and you have the time to do so. Which again, I think me and you, and I'm sure many other people, we took full advantage of that space that was given, right?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? The no responsibilities, like the access to just the time that we had. Never mind the actual physical facilities. Yeah, it's I'm extremely addicted to creative thinking. Across all the different um industries that I work professionally in now, I'm just so creative. I'm totally addicted to it. But like anything, like beers, I need to know when to stop. So this is exactly where I'm at with you. And I think, like you were saying earlier, that absolutely comes from the responsibility of being a good parent and being there and being present and being mindful about, right, that's creative time. This is dada time. You know what I mean?